小朋友想乘电梯，请把电梯。
注意避让直行车。
She drank hers.
即便你可能出现不同的
Our vibe right now. It's a good mix of crunchy and
You see the pearls? This one. Of course, it's super cute.
제이야? 제이야? 약간 육아 같은
Wow, so many.
wow, this don't choose all in. Morning, evening.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's very aesthetic.
about it?
I know what it is.
What is it?
Serenity.
No, but this is cute.
It's serenity.
To their country and the same food their country and we
What?
literally
Korea is not a country, okay?
okay it's not yeah it's still Asian.
hour นะครับ which Arabic scan here take a review
5 hours.
can you share your
I think you need to take the line. Ah, it's huge. Oh, there it is. No, let's go there. I think on the other, you can see it on that side. Yeah, it's better. All these people up the bun. Finally a skyline because Korea doesn't really have a skyline, right? It's such a huge city but no skyline. Crazy. there is a bridge. Ah, you can see all the people there actually.
Follow the people.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Okay.
You got it?
This is good coffee. Okay, let's have it. And the percentage.
Maybe you should have an espresso.
I like the
Kyoto. Maybe it's Japan. Is it not China? Yeah, it's not China.
Have some very interesting keys. K11. Is it still that same mall? It's another mall.
Maybe there's a hotel.
I think get some